guys, it's Angelo, and starting this week, we'll be having a weekly little video where I respond to your comments. This is a great way for me to stay involved with you guys as the channel is growing pretty fast, and an even greater way for you guys to get involved as well. I'll be picking different comments throughout each week, all covering different topics and opinions that you guys have so eagerly shared. Obviously, this will not affect the rest of the upload schedule, as I will still upload at least one video a week, as currently. Now, if you have any questions you want answered, any concerns, or any opinions you feel like sharing, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and we'll go over them each week. Today's comments will focus mostly on the Shadow Priest and add-ons I use, but without any further ado, let's go right ahead and have a look. Paul Beaver is gonna start us off, saying, "My friend, you have made playing Shadow Priest much better for me in Legion." Well, thank you for that first off, Paul. I know this is a Battle for Azeroth video, he posted this under the Surrender to Madness video, but I still have questions in Legion, mostly my stat priority, and I'm wondering at what percentage I should start looking at no longer adding haste. Currently I am at 40% haste and 30% crit. Good question actually to start us off. So 40% haste is more than enough for you, and so is 30% crit really. With the amounts of gear we're currently running, you can even drop a little bit of haste and go for more crit if you feel more comfortable with it, or even start running a bit of mastery. Again, only if you're actually comfortable with the amount of haste that you currently have. Now, there's no definite answer that I can give you here, as I don't know what trinkets you're using, nor which legendaries you are, but I think you get the point. Either stay at this haste level, or lower it a little, but again, there's no need to push for more. The next comment comes from DJ McRae, and he says, "They could make S2M or Surrender to Madness into a void form blocking ability. So let's say after you have used Surrender to Madness, you get a 2 to 4 minute debuff, like an Exhausted Mind debuff, and cannot use your void form during this time. This way, this would ensure that you would be using this spell, or the talent rather, as a finishing ability for the last few percentages of the boss fight." And actually, I do like the idea of this a lot, to be honest. So personally, I think your 2 to 4 minutes is a bit much, to be honest, but perhaps make it for maybe a minute to a minute and a half, similar to the way that they're currently planning to do so, but a bit more fleshed out, if you know what I mean. Perhaps going the way I mentioned in my last Surrender to Madness video, and allow the talent to be similarly strong as it used to be in terms of void form duration and playstyle, but just make its damage output a little bit lower so that it won't go over the top. I think your idea in essence could definitely work, and who knows, maybe someone over at Blizzard actually watches this video and gives it a thought. Our next comment is a question, and it comes from Leighton, and he says, "Hey Angelo, I am boosting a priest for Battle for Azeroth. What professions would you recommend boosting to level 800? Another good question really, and we actually don't talk about professions as much as we could. Personally, for most of Legion, I ran with enchanting and jewel crafting, as you will find yourself swapping around a lot of gear which will need to be enchanted, and often you will have to swap around sockets to potentially have more fluent void forms, or just in general a higher amount of haste. This came in handy back in the Nighthold, during which most priests ran haste and then mastery rather than critical strike as their secondary stat, which forced many of us, including myself, to switch enchantments and sockets up a bit. I'd also suggest alchemy if you, for example, don't want to be a jewel crafter, as making your own potions is cheap, and also you fortunately don't have to be an herbalist anymore really, since most herbs can just be bought for Blood of Sargeras. Again, these are just my options, or rather my opinions. I'm sure people will have different opinions here. Next up we have Ivor Brox, who asks, "What is the name of the add-on you use for your external cooldown tracking?" Good question, Ivo. That's actually not an add-on at all, it's just a weak aura in fact. I'll leave the link to it in the description of course, but if you want to know more about my weak auras, be sure to check out my new interface video covering my weak auras and add-ons in detail. By the time this video goes up, expect a day or two in between the weak aura video, but if you guys are watching this a day or two later, then you will see a little info icon popping up on the screen right about now. Alright guys, this will wrap up this week's responses to your comments. Let me know if you've enjoyed this video, or rather this type of video, and if you're cool with the fact that there are more planned to come in the future. If you have enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you'd like to see more of my content in the future, feel free to subscribe. Special thanks to the supporters over at Patreon. Your support is truly appreciated, and as always my friends, I will see you all in the next one.